These video game Easter eggs are worth hunting down. Developers go through great lengths to hide in-jokes and clues throughout their games, so we've rounded up some of the best around. Some of these made us laugh, others are just plain weird, and there's a few in here that are iconic enough to become a part of video game history. That's the power of a good video game Easter egg after all, so let's get into it. Here's our list of the best video game Easter eggs of all time.
I have already slept enough for one lifetime.
In Metal Gear Solid 3, the End is an old assassin who goes by the pseudonym Ancient Sniper. At over 100 years old, age is basically his entire deal. The game would have you go up against him in an incredible one-on-one jungle battle as you search and snipe each other between the trees. However, there are not one but two Easter eggs that allow you to kill him before this battle even takes place. One involves sniping him as he rests in his wheelchair immediately after his first appearance, although if the player does decide to kill him here, an explosion from a bomb in his wheelchair sends a wheel flying towards Naked Snake, which needs to be dodged. The second is the far more famous method, and involves setting your PS2 console date forward by at least 1 week. Then when you load up the game, you'll be told that the End has died of old age. Rest in peace, buddy. One of the best things about Grand Theft Auto 4 is its faux NYC Liberty City setting, a sprawling metropolis rooted in realism. That is until you happen upon the innards of the Statue of Liberty-like Statue of Happiness. Take a helicopter up there and look for a door sandwiched between two signs that say "No hidden content this way." Inside the statue, you'll find a giant beating heart. Weird.
But a witcher never ever forgets to care for his blade.
Despite The Witcher 3 having arrived several years before Cyberpunk 2077, Ciri appears to talk about the game and its Night City location. In The Witcher 3, we learn that Ciri can travel through space and time, and in one conversation about evading the Wild Hunt, she mentions a realm where people had metal in their heads, waged war from a distance using things similar to megascopes, and there were no horses to be seen. Everybody had their own flying ship instead.
Ciri, stop fooling around.
Told you wouldn't believe me.
In Cyberpunk 2077, Ciri and The Witcher 3 appear on a retro gaming magazine cover, bringing the Easter egg full circle.
Where is it?
I don't know, buddy.
You insult me.
You're a pirate.
This Cordyceps-style Easter egg was almost one of the biggest leaks in video game history. There's a long story behind it, but the short version is that Naughty Dog put this reference in Uncharted 3 when it thought The Last of Us was to be announced by the time it was out. Well, it wasn't, and with the reveal delayed, the Easter egg was left in, teasing a game that nobody even knew about. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Child's play! And open!
Lots of games make Minecraft references, but Borderlands 2 goes all out. While spelunking through the caustic caverns location, you may well find some unmistakable dirt cubes blocking your way. Bust through them with your melee attack in classic Minecraft fashion, and you'll find a cave filled with creepers on the other side. Killing them may even net you a Minecraft helmet accessory, complete with chunky pixelation.
What a perfectly normal life you have, Peter Parker.
PlayStation's webbed adventure is packed with comic Easter eggs on this list. Stark's Department of Damage Control makes an appearance, for example, whereas Fogwell's gym is where Daredevil's dad trained, and can be seen down a side street in the open world. The Clinton Mission Shelter, where Daredevil's mother works, can be seen too, and Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. The full list of MCU locations can be ticked off within the game's landmark side quests, and all makes for some interesting sightseeing.
Very sane. Why don't you take a look? Maybe you'll get lucky.
Resident Evil Village's resident shopkeeper, the Duke, is for the most part a friendly, chatty fellow who appears to specialize in trivial conversation. By interacting with him several times, he will randomly ask the player,
What are you buying?
This is, of course, in the same fashion as the merchant from Resident Evil 4 when talking to Leon S. Kennedy.
What are you buying?
When repeating this line, the Duke will also mention the fact that an old friend of his used to say this. There's no way of knowing what happened to the merchant in the end, but the Duke's words suggest that they were buddies once upon a time.
You really gonna go through with this?
The Last of Us 2 is full of nods to previous Naughty Dog games. There's a dusty old PS3 with copies of Uncharted 2 and Jak and Daxter, for example. There's also a Jak X combat racing game in the arcade that you visit. You can even find what appears to be Nathan Drake's Sig Parvis Magna ring in a Westlake Bank safety deposit box. Then there's the so-called Strange Relic, which can be found in the Chinatown street in the Hostile Territory level. It's actually a precursor orb, a collectible from Naughty Dog's old Jak and Daxter games, which has turned up in every Uncharted game so far, and now in The Last of Us as well.
Agent Swan, are you still there?
Hitman 3's secret UFO level exit can be activated by circumventing the line at the front of the Berlin nightclub, locating the entrance shortcut door, and taking a photograph of the UFO graffiti that's scrawled on the wall. Once you've offed the targets on your mission's hit list, you can then head to the gas station payphone and dial 1993, and then ascend skywards in a glowing green light. 1993, of course, being the year that the X-Files first aired.
Have the flamingos stopped screaming?
Perhaps I ought to return after all.
Metal Gear and Death Stranding masterhead Hideo Kojima makes a cameo appearance in CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 that's actually quite easy to miss. When on a mission called The Heist, the Kojima Productions top man can be found in a bar regaling his company with stories. It's all very Kojima.
笑いといえばコメディだし、恐怖はホラーだし。
You can also find a Death Stranding BB as a part of a side quest called The Hunt for a character called River. And there you have it, that is some of the best Easter eggs that we've ever found in video games. Let us know your favourites in the comments down below, and remember to subscribe to GamesRadar here on YouTube so you don't miss any of our future videos.